Making fresh pasta is a very quick and simple process. All you need are 4 basic ingredients: flour, eggs, olive oil, and salt. And for the best results, these ingredients must be of the finest quality. Now, I have Michael White here, who is Pasta King, and he is going to show us how to make with 00 flour, 00 flour, and some very beautiful fresh eggs, the basic pasta. So you've created a little volcano.
Volcano, a little well. You know, this is obviously a process that's can be quite messy, but that's fun to get the kids together and
everybody make a little volcano for everyone.
Exactly.
A well, in other words.
A little bit of salt and just maybe I won't measure, but just
less than a tablespoon.
Less than a tablespoon.
Oh yes.
Exactly.
And what does the oil do in the pasta
for
you?
It gives a little shimmer to it, and it gives it a little elasticity. Sometimes the eggs are different sizes. These eggs happen to be, I would say, a medium egg. And so for 100 grams of flour, 1 egg. So it's kind of between a medium and a large. So
my hens laid these just for you.
Just for me.
They
well,
did.
Listen, they're fantastic. and there's so many different varieties. And you can see that they have a fantastic diet because they're nice and bright.
Now, I'm talking to a man who has how many restaurants serving pasta?
8.
8 restaurants serving pasta. And he could buy dry pasta and serve that to everyone, but you do make almost every single pasta that
every pasta.
You do.
We do not use any dry pasta whatsoever.
Okay.
That's, as they say in New York, that's my shtick, making fresh pasta.
It is,
so.
and it is a delicious shtick.
And so you can see how I'm bringing this together, and I'm doing it kind of really gently in the sense that we want to just see it come together and the crumb starts to...
So the gluten is starting to relax.
Just starting to relax, and you can see it becomes a messy process, but this all will, in about 5 to 10 minutes, will completely dry up.
Now, 00 flour is like a
talcum.
Powdery talcum, right.
Exactly. Some people get confused about the fact that they'll say, oh, it's a low-protein flour. It has nothing to do with the protein content in the flour. It has to do with how fine it is. And it gives you that very supple quality, which is, when you put a great sauce with it, it's quite
So while you
special.
should I make a food processor pasta?
I would love to see it happen.
Okay. So sometimes when you're really rushed, you could do a food processor version of the same thing, and it's, again, 2 cups of flour right into the processor, and your pinch of salt, and you can actually break the eggs right down the neck of the food processor. So we're going to put 3 eggs, the same as yours, since this is your recipe.
Yeah.
And start pulsing.
So a little bit at a time.
Yeah, and I don't overwork it because that would be the death knell of this pasta, is to overwork it.
That's the same with pizza dough as well.
Yeah, right?
Oh, wow. I'm learning all this.
See? It looks good.
Yep, and just sandy, and we'll...
Yep, and your little tiny bit of oil.
Perfect.
And that's it. So in the number of seconds that took,
compared to what I'm doing here.
Yeah, but see, now we start kneading that. It's sticking together nicely.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And if it needs a little bit more flour, you can just add the bench flour, as you said. Dump it out. And it's nice, don't you think? I think it saves you 5 minutes.
I think it would.
And our busy lives, 5 minutes is like,
huge.
oh, it's like hours.
And I have to tell you, it's not as messy as what I was doing.
Huh? No, it's not. But don't overwork it.
And I think that's really the key. And was that the metal blade or the plastic blade?
The metal.
Okay. Because I think really, it's with the key with anything, whether we're working it by hand or a machine. It's really less is more.
Well, it's the same. I mean, pie crust, I timed us. It was about 13 minutes to make a pie crust by hand.
By hand.
And then it was about 90 seconds in the machine.
Absolutely. A little bit of ice water and it comes together.
So this is very, very nice already. Okay, but see, this is going to take less time to knead. It's starting to smooth out nicely.
It really is nice.
My grandmother made all our own noodles.
By hand.
Yes,
and,
with a great big dowel.
Long before the food processor.
Oh,
right?
yes. So it's nice.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Shall we roll this?
Yes, we should.
Okay.
So here we have your dough, which is so beautiful. And again, you can have this hand crankering roller. I'll do some on this, and you can show how fast you do it on that. Do you use regular flour or do you use semolina flour?
When we're rolling, especially with raviolis, we don't want to put anything but the product that we're using with the dough. So this is all 00. So we will do the same.
And do you just fold it over once or twice?
Once or twice, just to give it a little rigidity, texture, and then
I've been making pasta for so long. I have pictures of me years and years ago in my kitchen using this hand cranker before that machine came out. So, to what thinness do we want for your ravioli?
I would say probably about 6.
Okay.
Sometimes when you're rolling pasta, the fact that it has elasticity to it, it bounces back. And so you might do it 2 on the same number, and you'll have a thinner. Sometimes people jump right to the lower number.
Oh no, I do it a couple times.
You do it a couple times because it really helps it not to.
See, it's coming out nicely. It's a beautiful color. Do you dry your pasta at all?
You know, if we're going to cut it a long pasta, you want to let it air dry a bit to get a dry surface so it cuts sharply. Not super dry though, because if you let it dry too much, it'll snap when you cut it. Just the outer surface has to be a bit dry.
What you're really doing is pressing the dough.
Pressing,
rather than you're rolling and pressing at the same time with a lot of pressure that you couldn't
stretching.
possibly do with your hands.